Very good morning to you. What is the department doing to stop this?
Good morning. Thank you for having us, Jane. Well, the department is coordinating a cluster of ministers who, since last year, were expected to intervene on an urgent basis. That is the police, justice, social development, and of course, public service administration. So that's the first step that I must say is solely in our hands. And in terms of the National Strategic Plan, which was received by President a month ago, the department has a responsibility to ensure that that document is taken to a district level so that closer to communities, everybody has a clear understanding of roles and responsibilities.
All right. It's been called an emergency action plan, and I just can't find the emergency in it. I mean, there's a lot of talk shops happening, and, Minister, with respect, how many women have to die before we have some sort of tangible action?
Well, we have tangible action. You know, when there was that high-level debate and we came up with an emergency action plan, the police stations were not where they are today. For instance, people will go to the police station, there were no rape kits, so they couldn't really do proper forensics so as to ensure that the case go through. And there were many cases also that were not going through. And the president said, bring back all those cases and show that proper investigations are done so that women can have justice. And also the review of relevant legislation. Just last week, I think we passed about 3 from the Ministry of Justice. Parliament passed about 3 from the Ministry of Justice. All that is being done consistently. The issue of GBV is on our table on our daily basis. The capacitation of the police, their retraining, and their capacity to investigate speedily. Just last night, we had an urgent IMC, not a regular one, interministerial committee, because we do believe we have to hold each other accountable. And Minister Cele took us through the cases where police have made breakthroughs recently, since June. And clearly we could all see that we are progressing.
So let me just ask about that, if I may. I mean, do you think police are taking this seriously? A lot of people are saying that if Cele, put the same sort of emphasis on fighting gender-based violence as he does on, fighting people who driving around with booze in the boot of their car, then we would make some sort of progress. Are you seeing enough being done?
Well, the police stations that we visit, sometimes unannounced, you find a better response than where we were yesterday, because the police will immediately pay attention, account, explain to you what they've done, the challenges they have, if any. Jane, we need time to talk about gender-based violence. It's complex, it's infused with cultural thinking and patterns and behaviors, and sometimes some of the incidences that occur, the police are too far, too much away from the scene. You find families stepping in, assuring the people who are fighting, the couple, whether staying together or married, no, you must make this thing work. Sometimes we've just taken the lobola and so on, and then they are surprised when at the end somebody has lost their life.
But you make a good point there. I mean, tackling the police, getting the courts up and functioning at 100% in order to deal with these cases is important, but there are the cultural issues that need to be tackled. I mean, you've got a magistrate in KZN who's sympathetic to racists. There's so many elements that need to be dealt with. Is the education that's needed there to tackle this?
Well, that's another pillar which the steering committee that worked, NGOs that work in partnership with government spoke about. Hence, you see now more men coming forward saying, we want to fight gender-based violence. No man should abuse a woman. But I still think systematically, even our civil society partners have to really infiltrate those communities and look at structures that exist. If a couple is fighting, what do? They call the families. When families leave, who remain in the neighborhood to ensure that if there's a crisis, that woman is taken out? Because it's long before you reach a police station. Some women, they are resilient. They refuse to go to the police station immediately. They want to put up a fight and thinking that if he wants to leave, he's the one who must leave this apartment. So those areas of prevention are very, very important, because that's where you eliminate unnecessary deaths.
Stop it before it even happens. Minister, we've run out of time, so excuse me interrupting. Just very briefly, when are we likely to see this plan that you're taking down to ground level?
It's on the table. The president has made it clear. Let's take it to all the district development model centers, and already there are all ministers and deputy ministers are assigned to a district development model. Was it not for traveling restrictions? We will be accounting, saying where I'm placed at Lisigisigi, this is what we're doing. But work is continuing.
Okay, Minister, good to talk to you. Thank you.